Welcome to a video on how to get good at the Agent P. Perhaps a contender for one of the best characters in the entire game, with the capability of deleting literally everything that isn't a Z-mech in less than a few seconds. Players who can master this cracked overtuned heap of shit can win any engagement they please if they have enough aiming skill. Let's get started. The Agent P is a variant of the P-shooter class, who can output so much fucking damage with his primary. He can actually rival the likes of Z-mechs without breaking a sweat. Unlike most other P-shooters, he only has 100 health, making him noticeably more fragile and susceptible to certain burst fire options. Whilst this does mean that you will have to be more careful and vigilant due to your overall lower durability, that does not mean shit when your primary weapon is a literal fucking death machine. This primary weapon is of a silenced P cannon, which disregards the rule of thumb in making the damage output lower in most games when a silencer is equipped, and just makes it high as fuck, to the point where it's obnoxious. The weapon can fire at up to 275 rounds per minute, and has 12 ammo per clip, before needing to take a quick 1.5 second reload. Each shot fired can deal 15 damage for a direct up close, and 10 at longer distances. But if you manage to land a critical hit, then that damage is flat out doubled to 30 damage for a direct up close, and 20 at longer distances. Because of this, and when paired with his somewhat fast rate of fire, against a super brains for example, you can literally drop them in less than 2 seconds with optimal crosshair placement at close range, and even at longer distances where damage drop off occurs. However, because this insanely busted damage buff relies on landing critical hits, this does mean that Agent P struggles against Z-mechs, as they do not have a critical hit box, and because of how much health and armor they have, you're better off either waiting until their attention is taken by something else or just leave them alone entirely, especially since your lower health pool of 100 will make you easier to kill than a muscle atrophied orphan strapped to a wheelchair and having a metal ball chained to both wheels. Additionally, Agent P has a significantly faster projectile than the base P shooter, making him much more consistent to use at longer distances, and whilst his projectile is like rock P's, in taking a bit of his movement into account when firing, because of how fast the projectile travels, this will barely affect gameplay, so don't be afraid to engage at longer distances, especially if you are confident in landing those headshots. The optimal upgrade setup for the Agent P would be the ammo, damage, and health upgrades, with the damage and health upgrades being especially important, as the damage upgrade crosses the threshold of allowing you to kill soldiers in as little as 4 critical hits, and all stars or SBs within 7 critical hits, which is absolutely fucking insane. And the health upgrade, as due to your fragile nature, having 10 extra health is very handy in offsetting certain kill thresholds. In terms of strengths, Agent P rewards players who can consistently land constant critical hits, with having some of the fastest time to kill across almost all targets. His high damage output and projectile velocity also means that he can engage at longer distances, and be used as a pseudo sniper against pirates or any other long-range opponent that may oppose him. However, Agent P demands a significantly higher skill floor than most variants, with the lack of splash damage and reliance on critical hits. Agent P is not a beginner-friendly character at all. His lower health pool of 100 makes him vulnerable to quite a few kill thresholds that may happen too fast for players to react, so you will have to keep your guard up. Lastly, he struggles against Z-mechs due to them lacking a critical hit box and having massive health pools. Thanks to this guide, you will now be the master of plowing through everyone in less than 10 seconds, and get hacker messages from crying 9-year-olds who just bought the game. Be sure to come back for the next episodes next week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more shit like this. Have fun.